And these guys got a bit in common. One being pro surfers and calling themselves the best in the world. But both their moms are from Japan. Both Japanese. Rio was actually born in Japan. First few years of his life were out there before moving over to Bali in Indonesia.
I had no clue on that.
That brings in all the water here. Goes through a filter system. Comparable salinity to the Atlantic Ocean. Here comes Connor O'Leary tapping the first section. Tacking number 2, now number 3 maneuver off the top. Now starting to slow down. Really well done on that tube ride. Not trying to get too deep, but deep enough where the judges will enjoy it. Hard off the bottom, crushing that section. Kind of a transition float to a hammer. And now laying low again. Beautiful timing in the tube for O'Leary, and then punches the fins out and gets stuck. That's been really tough, not just for goofies, but for backhanders. Staying on the surface, but doing that backhand reverse. Why has that been so difficult to land in these last couple of heats?
Well, because it bottoms out. Like, the transition is very tight right there in the end, and they barely have any room in order to complete that maneuver. So how's the damage done on his backhand right there? It's crazy how much the surfers really stepped it up on this round already. Like, there's a big task for everyone else that's going to get in the water, because the surfers are ripping right now. Like, they're really letting their hearts out and not overthinking, just performing what's in front of them. You're going to see this turn here. This is money. It's going to set up, generate speed, and right here, it's going to push his back foot. Spring loads into that section. Some of the best backside turns we've seen it so far. Comes out with speed, get that barrel, and right there, that's what you're talking about. See how tight it is? For a guy like him, 6'2", it's so hard for him to do it. Beautiful turn at the beginning of that wave. And then right here, this is a massive turn. He's going to stomp on that back foot, get that board up in vertical. Put that front foot on the deck to keep the stability. Keep his body also very close to his chest, close to the knees. Making sure the board is underneath. And as much as he's extended on the beginning of that turn, he brought that all back in. And right here, he starts to spin. Momentum keeps going. The fins engage, and it kind of slows the board down a little bit.
6'8" start for Connor O'Leary. So the difference, what you saw in the opening round and the night session, you've got different formulas here. They're going back to back with their opening run. Connor pushing hard. Saw the fins showing on that aggressive redirect into the pocket. Love his use of the tubes on his backhand and forehand. He's getting just deep enough and then able to blitz the lip line. Big tail throw. Wanted to extend that maneuver, but it'll cost him his first left here of the round of 16. But it's a great idea, you know, kind of seeing a goofy foot go to town in the heat previous. Jackson Bunch came out of that barrel, and that's when he did that crazy punt. Didn't reverse, landed with control, and that really set off that 9-2-3. So Connor identifying that as the opportunity to go real big.
Yeah, that was impressive from him. This is the setup turn. Beautiful. This is just a setup turn. Let's just mention that. Like, setup turn into the barrel. It's going to kind of ignore that section and go straight into a massive blowtail. Look at the footwork right there. Compresses, lands it perfectly. So far, what we've seen in a round of 16 and how everyone stepped it up, he had to go big. Like, because he started very solid with 6'8", but if you expect what has been done previously in the previous matches throughout the day today, he had to kind of go for broke.
Rio Waida loves this format. He knows that he's a strong athlete. He likes to lean into his prep, his fitness, his mental aspect. Love that connection. Really belted it off the lip with that lean back style. Just getting trained now with so much speed and composure. Beautiful top turn. Perfect spot for that hack. Throws the fins to switch gears. So much variety and flair from Rio Waida. Puts himself in the pit, well done. Winds up, taps it quickly. Wants a bit more, pushes hard on the snap, earned a bonus section with all that speed into a reverse.
Phenomenal run.
I agree, Reynos. Phenomenal. What a performance. Even after that end section barrel. First it was like, okay, maybe one turn. That's evolved over the last 2 days. 3-turn combo for Waida with the reverse.
Just solid surfing for him right there. But what really impresses me is just the variety that he was able to put together. But still sticking to rail, not trying to get too flary. You're going to see it right here. Beautiful snap down the line, and that's when he's going to push it and put it all on the line. Going to use that backhand to kind of grab it and keep the stability. Add some style as well to it. And then he's going to finish it off once again with that same maneuver. But obviously in a way less critical part of the wave. Just solid surfing for him. They're going to be able to get a little bit of more diversity, maybe a little bit more progression. It's going to add a little points to their total. So they really got to maximize on that forehand wave for both of the surfers and just stay very solid on the backhand.
His backhand got him to his first CT final at the end of last season at Cloudbreak. Here he goes in Abu Dhabi. Just such solid surfing, clean, powerful turns. Sets up that backhand tube style so well. Think about all the lefts he gets to surf at home through the racetrack section at Uluwatu. Ripping that one well into a more of a vert re-entry, blasting it. And now pulling into the end section. Gets a bit of the tube, well done, and winding up for a first turn there. Maybe he'll get in 3 again. How was that slam? And he will get a little tap to finish. Well done on the first run for Rio Waida.
Very well.
Just chasing a 4.17 on that left to try to take the lead off Connor O'Leary. We will take a break. We'll update you with the scores here in the round of 16. Heat number 4. When we come back, it'll be Connor O'Leary's turn back at the basin. February 18th, all the big wave surfers are en route to Portugal. A green alert will be issued 24 hours before the official call. When the event goes live, February 18th, it'll be on Red Bull TV and WorldSurfLeague.com as we get right back into the round of 16. Heat number 4 at the Surf Abu Dhabi Pro. Connor O'Leary on his second run now in the heat with Rio Waida, already hammering some big points on the back end. Full stylish flowing bottom turn and then just disappearing in the pit. O'Leary still traveling. Makes it out again, frames that vertically. He can go put it up at 12 o'clock on just a moment's notice. He'll just whip that thing vert. Now he lays down on the end section, a little off pace and just getting caught up on the numbers before we went to break. Rio Waida had a solid start. The 7.33 was on the right, then backed it up with a 6.57. Similar type of consistency like he had yesterday.
I feel like this is similar type of consistency he had the last year or two, right? Like it seems like he always gets good scores on the board. And here, Connor O'Leary just beautiful bottom turns, setting up for success right there, just maybe getting a little bit sticky, and that's what set him up.
You can actually call it an ocean because that's where this water comes from.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And the ocean's right there.
It's just right there.
Just behind us.
The Arabian Gulf, right next door to this great facility. It's coming down to this wave for Connor to try to get into the quarterfinals. Needs a 7.08. Last chance here. Already digging in deep, punching that lip line hard. Whole board was out of the water. Laying really low. Holding that nice low stance. Now he's going to have to release something big there. Great execution on the hack. Wow, look at that big power hook on the open face. Now staying low, he's got to make this thing. Oh, and he's so deep, he gets picked up. And he misses out on the tube and a finish. Chasing down a 7.08. The entire crowd there holding their breath through every turn for Connor O'Leary.
Oh man, I feel for him so much because he was on his way for a 7.08. Like, I have no doubt on that. Like, that was the most water displacement and aggressiveness we've probably seen on the left so far. You're gonna see it right here. He's gonna do that beautiful snap to set up for this massive carve. Pushing that back foot, getting a good release on that tail. And then just, I mean, the guy's so big, like how can he even fit that deep in that barrel that small? Like there's not much he could have done. Had to really be a little bit more in front of that wave. This is a beautiful turn for him, but almost just a setup for this right here. Look how tight in the pocket. That wave is bottomed out already. He's pushing that back foot, engaging that inside rail and pushing it off.
Huge performance from Connor. We're going to remember that one for a while, but it will be a celebration for Rio Waida on his second run. He's going to get to enjoy the basin here, feel out his equipment even more, maybe try something different, or he could just keep his foot on the gas, throwing the tail out a bit there for Rio Waida. A lot of great mentors that he had to look up to. TP Jabrik doing a lot of great things for surfing in Indonesia. How about this? He's playing with it now, Jesse. Throwing the tail, he'll slide and he'll just throw the rest of that one away. But you can tell he's going, okay, how far can I push these turns? He was looking real loose.
And that's the advantage of having that extra less wave, right? Like you just start playing with it, you can kind of actually set yourself up for the next round and see how much you push and how much more you can push. And that's what he did exactly on that wave. Like that third turn right off the bat, that big carved blow tail in the end.
The engineers love playing with the technology. They have their patented hydrofoil that's running down the track now. Rio Waida still on his victory lap after closing things out over Connor on his first two waves. He's kind of just played with how much he was pushing his board on the right, and now on the left. We'll see what he does here. Just such a stylish tube stance. He'll just bite off a little too much on the left, so he'll write that down in his notebook, going, okay, that was just a little bit too deep.
You notice a lot of hand signals there. It's after the surfers fall. Like this is just for the lifeguards that are on the Red Bull skis right there, just to mention that they're okay. So they tap the top of their head to let them know that everything's fine, because as much as this is a very controlled environment, it's very shallow, and we've seen some very good surfers actually get hurt before here. I think I remember Ace Buchan got his shoulder kind of very messed up after falling on a barrel, and the list goes on.
And he will be enjoying a finals day appearance at the first ever event here at the Surf Abu Dhabi Pro. Rio Waida looking for a huge win this season. So focused on representing Indonesia on the tour, and he's done some great things. He'll be moving on into the next round.